Hi everyone, welcome to another unboxing video, this time of the glorious Earthshaker Carriage battery. Second video I'm doing of a Forgeworld recast kit, and this is all the way from China, and another video I've done you can check out here is a Macador Defender. So this comes all the way from a business called Zach Games in China. It takes quite a while to get to, I think it took about a month to get to me, but as reference I bought three of these Earthshaker Carriage batteries. It cost me £120 with shipping. And to buy one of these from Forge would cost you £100. So this is a lot cheaper, obviously. Now, I always say to all the recast kits is that it's a bit of a weird one, because if you buy from Zach Games, you're not supporting GW. And GW do make new cool miniatures, while Zach Game will just produce the same thing over and over again. So that's a bit of a weird point. It's like ethically, I personally don't want to buy from Zach Games, but with one of these costing £100, I am going to buy from a business called Zach Games in China, because they're just too expensive from Forge. Now, as per the previous video, I'll give an honest perspective on the quality here, and kicking right into it, you can see the barrel. If we go from the top angle, you can see it's a banana. It's quite warped. Well, I will in a second show an assembled one, and that is not too bad to bend back into shape in some hot water. These imperfections, this is nothing crazy, I think. Although it looks to that's not great there. That imperfection there, that's pretty bloody bad, to be honest. So the barrel's not too bad. This bit goes on top here like that, and I mean that looks fine. So that's okay. I did notice, because I will, as I said, show one I assembled as well. Where is the breech? Here it is. So this is the breech here, or the breech cover, whatever you want to call it. I've left the army years ago, so I can't remember. But this goes like that, and I do know from the other one that it doesn't close perfectly, so that's not great. I mean, this bit's fine. This basically is where this bad boy sits, and as per the one I'll show you in a second, it's really quite hard to make this sit by itself. So you can, it's probably hard to see from the angle above, but there's a massive gap in between this bit and here, and I've actually had to use some green stuff to sort of keep it in place, but it's not really easy to make it stay. It's basically relying upon super glue to hold it in place, which is not great. You could probably drill and put like a metal rod through there, but I just opted for some green stuff. I'll show you in a second in an assembled one. So that's fine, but I expect this problem is probably a Forgeworld problem, not a Zach Games problem. Okay, the rest of it, basically, this is then where it goes like that, I think, something like that. So this basically goes here, this goes on top, and to be honest, these parts aren't too bad. This here, this is where your tools go. It actually comes with some tools, but having tried to shove some I ended up just chopping these off, because you can't actually fit the tools in there. There's massive imperfections, so not too bad. Then these are basically where the wheels go on. So the wheels go like this. So you basically assemble like that, and this is all fine. That's like the I don't know, the suspension, almost, you want to call it that. Now the wheels is where things get pretty bad. So I think these actually, because the other one I've made looks terrible. Now, let's see if we can see on this view here. You can see some humongous imperfections along here. Now, trying to get these cleanly out was almost impossible, and I've basically ruined mine. I'll show you on the one I've assembled in a second, but those imperfections are really quite bad. Like, that's terrible. And having looked at the Forgeworld website, their wheels, like this one isn't too bad. Their wheels look quite clean, so to be fair, this one doesn't look too bad. But I don't know, and again, if you've got one of these from Forge, let me know, but this potentially is a Zach Games imperfection, because to be fair though, these, and here we go, more imperfections, but the one I've assembled so far, basically every single wheel has got these imperfections, which, having hacked off with a hobby blade, I've basically probably spoiled some of them quite significantly. Another one. So this is a bit of this is not good, the wheels. All right, onto some other detail, finer detail, is this basically, these are like, you can either plonk them on the ground, or you can stow them. They're like meant to be like movement racks, when the what do you call these bits comes in and out, and these bits are overall fine. So these are like the trailer legs. These arguably are completely fine. Now then, these two bits, they go on the end of the trailer section, something like that, I think, something like that. And then what you're meant to do is these two to go together like this. If you can squeeze it in there, and then you're meant to be able to put a pin through there. Now you can't because it's full of resin. And then I tried to drill it with a hand drill, but it just doesn't fit. So this is not good. And then you can see this is meant to be the tow hook for like onto a vehicle, and it's just all full of resin. And I don't know what it would be like from GW, but that's not great. Okay. Now then all this finer small stuff here. Overall, this is fine. They're actually, like, some of the detail is quite well captured here. There is some issues with these little hand cranks. They're full of resin. It's hard to see, probably they're quite small in this view here, but I had to clean them up quite significantly, and they're quite delicate to make it look nice. But I mean, that could be again a Forgeworld thing. I don't know. And then interestingly, you get a heap of extra stuff like this terrible barrel. I don't actually know. I don't think it actually goes anywhere. And then you also get some extra bits. Now, I don't know where these go. I'm assuming they go onto like the back of the vehicle. So maybe that, maybe this is like to be used on the back of, say, a Chimera, maybe. You sort of like hook it up to illustrate, it's been towed. So that's a nice detail, but I ended up just chucking it out because I'm never going to use them. So overall, this is to be expected for a recast. I'd say it's worse than the Malcador I've bought, the Malcador Defender. But at £40, which still is not cheap, it is significant. It feels better, yeah. Because if I paid £100 for this, I'd be completely disappointed. But I think, looking at this, that I expect the Forgeworld version is probably better quality, because there are some significant imperfections here. But again, bought it from China at £40, so you gotta take what you are given sometimes. Now let's get the other one out. So I've built another one. So this is what the bad boy looks like in totality. And yeah, so I've ended up just gluing it shut. You can basically have it so it goes, you can expand it out, but I just went, screw it, let's just do it as though it's been like transported. Now it's probably hard to see, but from the above angle, I don't know if you can see in there, but that's where I've just whacked in a heap of green stuff. So once it's assembled, it's not too bad. When we do look at the wheels at this angle here, you can particularly see, say, this one here. I went a bit too, wasn't paying attention. I was going a bit crazy with it, but you can still see a lot of imperfection. Now I don't know what will happen once I've spray painted this, but it's not. The wheels are pretty shite, to be honest. And yeah, so I guess, okay, these wheels were terrible. These other ones look okay. But then the barrel not sitting properly, that is probably a Forgeworld thing. But overall, yeah, as I said, it's not too bad. Now, out of interest, how big is it compared to a Basilisk? And a Basilisk is this big here. So something I've been concerned about is the size of the miniature. And actually now I've got it in front of me. It's probably not as bad as I thought it would be. Now, it is not as wide. Definitely, it's obviously longer. But still, like, when you're fitting in all your miniatures into the deployment zone, you could probably still fit this, because, you could have guys underneath this. It is longer. And I've actually purposely, as I said, closed it together, so that way you don't have this massive, bigger footprint. So, it's not as big as I thought it was, although it is quite a big miniature. But yeah, hopefully that was interesting. I don't think I'm as warm to this one as I am towards the Malcador Defender. There's a lot of imperfections, particularly the wheels, which have been quite disappointing. And then I do think, I said before, that this Forgeworld kit probably is a bit crap in general, yeah? So then it's probably a crap Forgeworld kit, made crapper by the fact it's being recast. So that's how I feel about it. It doesn't come with a base, obviously, which is fine, but then, I do think I'm going to end up damaging this as I physically pick it up. You can put it on a base, but I want to get a one which is perfectly fitting it. But yeah, so if you own one from Forgeworld or a recast, I'd love to hear your opinion as always. And likewise, just anybody else who's interested in this type of thing. So yep. If you enjoy this video and want to support me, you can do so with a like, comment, or by subscribing, joining my Patreon return, or simply watching any of my other YouTube videos. I cover everything Astra Militarum or Imperial Guard, from the hobby aspect, like these videos here. the tabletop tactics, and also the lore of Astra Militarum sometimes as well. A massive, massive thanks to my current supporters. Get your bayonet sharp, lasgun oiled, faith in the Emperor strong, Patron platoon, sound off. Tank Commander Glenn, Tank Commander Watchdog Van Etten, Tank Commander Mitchell, Lieutenant Burke Nielsen, Colour Sergeant DuPont, Sergeants Adal, the Colonel Merrill, Veteran Gibson, Hall, Lundeen, Guardsman Beard, Coquelin, Flint, Hills, Malik, Nitton, Nguyen, Smith, Tom, Tompkin, Conscript England, Gillian, Goodwin, King.